here, and I am here today with the 2022 New Year's Challenge winner in the female women's category, of course, is Misty Ramirez. Hello, Misty. How are you today?
Hey, doing great. Thank you.
Looking great as well. So again, I want to say a huge congratulations on not just winning the challenge. Who cares about the winner's spoils other than you get some cash, but really the prize is the transformation. What an amazing job you did in in such a short period of time. How are you feeling today?
Uh, Incredible. Definitely a whirlwind. Just an amazing last couple months. Yeah. Very well.
Right now, did you know after you took your last sort of post photo that you must have known that you were going to be in the running? It's such a dramatic. When I saw the before and after, I have so many to choose from. It's so hard. And everybody did such an amazing job. But there are those few that when you're going through the photos, you stop and you're just like, wow, just wow. Because I know, as a scientist and as a trainer, I know what goes in to that transformation. And, I was talking to Jamal, the male winner, was it last week or so, about, you you're not really sure on yourself, but it's so much work. And everybody thinks when they look at the before and the after that it was, whether it was an 8-week challenge or a 12-week challenge like this one, that it was like every day was just, you were just in a great mood because you kept seeing this, change going and going and going. Whereas Jamal, for the first 3 weeks, he saw, or I think almost 6 weeks, he saw almost no change, but kept going despite the difficulties, despite the challenges, despite his schedule. He kept going. So I'm interested in sort of your day-to-day during this 12-week. What was it like?
Yeah. So, it took a lot of planning. I work in healthcare. So those days are really long. I had just gotten married early in the beginning of last year. So still.
And I want to say you're 43. So again, that's young to me at 54. So you're a baby to me. But in the world of fitness, in the world of making transformations, it gets harder. The older, let me tell you, I know it gets harder. So the fact that you did this at on top of 43, a full-time job, on top of it, amazing. So sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to make sure everybody's aware that, this isn't like a 20-year-old doing this. This is possible regardless of what age. So again, thank you.
Yeah, I think, just lifestyle. As you mentioned, I work long hours. I have about a 3-hour commute to and from work every day. I have 4 kids at home, 6 kids total. Right. And so keeping our schedules and family stuff really definitely was a challenge. I can tell you, I think the thing that we did well and the thing that we got right was we did it as a family. So in this challenge specifically, I had, some friends and family members. My husband did it. And so everybody kind of just focused on using this year to get healthy, which changed our life, right? So we did date night mornings. And so my husband and I would work out together in the morning work and before we got the kids off to school, doing that stuff. And then on the weekends, we would have like family night and have people over. Well, those became meal prep barbecue yard where we would cook our food
Right.
and just spend some time as a family, but just focused on the challenge and making some healthy choices. Outside of the gym and the routine, looking for those quick wins of moments that add some exercise. So basketball with our son, soccer, dogs. So walking the dog and trying to get those steps in really made a big difference. You still want to hang out and you still want to do things, and that sometimes can take time. We're welcome to work out with us. And so Friday nights, we'd all be out on the driveway and we'd whatever the lifting session was that day. That was a lot of fun. And then our friends are supportive, work-life balance, and they would join us. We have sometimes if our meetings ran late or we had to be there really, really early, we either before or after in the gym at the hospital, and just spend some time. So I get the opportunity to do Zoom meetings every once in a while. And so if it was one of those meetings where I didn't necessarily have to, I just walk on a treadmill and just try to get, as much. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good tip for everybody watching, is the fact that, a lot of people and I know a lot of people hear me say this, but I love to repeat it, is that your workout is not enough. Even if you're following like one of my crazy Excess 8 Super Shredded 8 programs, right? You go in there and you're killing yourself for a good hour or sometimes an hour and a half, right? Well, sadly, that's not enough. Like, that doesn't mean you get to sit the rest of the day for a job well done. Our bodies are designed to work all day and rest at night, right? And we haven't evolved far enough away from that where we can just sit. And so that's critical, what you're doing, finding a way to increase just physical activity throughout the day makes a huge difference. And the results show that, you weren't just doing it in the gym, you were also staying active all day. And that's something that we all need. That's why I have the 30-60 rule, for people who are sitting at a desk job and just can't go get a workout in any time. 30, if you're sitting for 30 minutes consecutively, get up and do something, at least 60 seconds of activity. And then sort of like plan throughout the day. I like to talk about not taking the elevators or escalators or parking far, so you get some extra activity. And when you go shopping, park at the last spot, not the closest spot, all that. So that's another tip that I want to remind everyone. And clearly the winner here used that. So if you're interested in not just winning a challenge, but making that amazing transformation, and I think everybody can see her before and after right now, right? It should be up there. I can see it. So I just want to make sure everybody else can. Amazing. I mean, look at this. I really I want to call out the fat loss in the abdomen, the arms, the legs, the hips, and the muscle. My God, the muscle that you put on. People, always think that it's the males that have the easiest, but, and I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that make the greatest transformation. But I have to say, I mean, obviously Jamal's transformation was astonishing as well, but I would not say that his was any more dramatic than yours. So amazing job. And again, this is a 43-year-old woman, guys. Now, the other thing I want to bring up is the support, that support you had, because that's critical. You had your husband, Keegan, right? Doing that.
Yes.
And he was a finalist as well. So, one of the promotions I put out for this Summer Strike Challenge is you can end up taking home $10,000, or as a household $20,000 if you both, you and your significant other, if you're, if it's a heterosexual couple, at least. I guess it's not fair for homosexual couples because there's only could be one winner in each category. So, but I put it out there that a household might be able to take home $20,000. And you guys were really, really close to doing that because you both were finalists. So amazing job.
Challenge.
Go ahead.
Already signed up for the Summer shred challenge. He told him he needed to keep up with his wife, and so he's doing it.
Job. Nice job. But yeah, so not only Keegan was doing it, your future son-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Was doing that, and then I think you had a few coworkers as well doing that. Is that?
Yeah, leadership team doing the.
Amazing. Now, what I want to ask you about is, since you got so many people involved in the challenge and just fitness in general, inspiring people, did you find that really pushed you to really, give it? Because I know you mentioned before that you did, what was it? One of the previous New Year's challenges or summer shred challenges, but you sort of fell off, right? Life got in the way. You got married, right?
Yeah. It got a little crazy there. I think everybody, life happens, right? You're headed on fitness.
Of course.
Life happens, and before you know, and you don't recognize, obviously, physically you look different, you feel different, lifestyle, some of those habits you have, and for me, with some of those unhealthy habits starting to be created in there, got onto this challenge and just tried to flip that and did it.
Well, you did, like I said, absolute astonishing job. The before and after, I'm sure many people are doubtful, which so upsets me that so many people are doubtful that this is an actual, transformation. They think the photos were doctored or whatnot, but this is real. This is real, guys. This is what happens when you do when you put the work in. That's the nice thing about putting the work in, is there's always a payoff. And like I said, whether you're winning the challenge or not, you're getting the results, and astonishing, amazing results that are life-changing. And again, you had that support group, and when I talked to Jamal, his take was he did it. Some people do it for someone, like he was doing it for his wife, to show his wife and his family what he was capable of. But you had your entire family involved, almost a lot of your family members, at least, and friends involved with you during this challenge. And so, that is I'll let you sort of give your take on that. But from my take, that is a huge bonus when you're not doing it alone and you have somebody else, particularly a significant other, but then you also have other family members and coworkers. So when you go to work, you're still in that, it keeps you in that mindset, that positive mindset. And then, like I was asking you, since you involved so many people, a lot of times it elevates your own performance because you can't let them down. Now, it's not just letting yourself down, right? Now you can't let all these other people that you got involved into this challenge, right? You better have the best transformation out of everyone. And so did you find that, like I said, that was sort of like an extra carrot dangling in front of you that really helped push you while you're doing the challenge?
It definitely did. I think it ability factor. So it didn't matter whether I was at work, whether I was at home. Typically with me at some point that was involved in the process,
right?
In there, and as a leader. So whether it's as a parent, some of my friends I the leadership team with, you got to lead by example, and so that really was probably some skin in the game. And I know our kids made an agreement with them that if mom did win, they would get a portion of the prize money. Of course, my son, when you went, was focusing in on it, and he's like, Mom. It was pretty cool in there, but yeah, it definitely increases the stakes. But I think it's also what made it more, having my husband do it with us. Our marriage has dramatic, not, it was just that bonding and that thing, the time that you get to spend together has totally enhanced our marriage and our relationships. And I would say that with the kids as well. Behaviors and things that will give them a healthy lifestyle. Friends, we work, my coworkers that were in it with me, a lot of times it's, working in a hospital environment in the middle of COVID is extremely stressful. And so this was to really get healthy and focus on ourselves. We talk about making health through hospital, making sure our community's healthy. And this was one step for us to be able to, we're healthy together and really improve some relationships too.
Nice. That's awesome. You said you lead by example. I just want to say no one could have set a better example than what you did at all. But it's so amazing that I know you guys had a talk, your husband and yourself had a talk late December before you took on this challenge to really make that change. And like you were saying, the fitness is a great way to bond, with your significant other, with your children, with other family members, with coworkers, with friends, because you're now on common ground. You all have, similar goals and similar lifestyle changes that you're going through. And a lot of times those can be difficult, right? Because you're, maybe, you used to always go to McDonald's, for dinner or whatever it is, right? And now, you're making a big change with your macros and what you're eating, and you're increasing your daily physical activity, and you're doing workouts, and, that can be a lot for people to take on. But when you're doing it as a community, whether it's one person, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 10, like you have now you're doing the Summer Shred Challenge. I believe you said you have like 10 other people doing it along with you, right? Yeah, well, you are an amazing ambassador for fitness, and you're inspiring thousands and thousands of people online, but also you're inspiring those around you in your daily life, and that's one of the things I like to say to people is that when you make this change, you have no idea some of the people that you've inspired. It could be like the checkout person at your local grocery store who sees you and is noticing the change, but doesn't know you well enough to say something, but sees it. And, maybe that inspired them to finally make a change because of the change that they saw in you. And so I just want to say nice job on inspiring so many others. Do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, no, it has been humbling. I think sometimes you don't realize on people, and I think sometimes what other people have on them. I'm inspiring them, and they inspire me. Right? I think of the week on the Army. There was someone that had some physical disabilities and lift, and I was just like in complete awe of inspiration, and I think people on the Army that have just those things, and if they can do it, I can do it. And I think there's people who look at me and say, if she can do it, I can do it. Nice. I know my friends that are on the channel in their thing, they're like, we know you, we know it was real, we've seen it, and we want the same thing. They're grinding every morning, 5 a.m. start. So.
Nice job. Yeah, when you show people that it's possible, and again, this is a 43-year-old woman, guys, and you see that when you see her after, when you see the after and the way you look now, everybody just assumes that's you. That's the way you look. That's you. That's your genetics. You're lucky. It's easy for you. But when you look at your before photo, right, that's a lot of people,
You
right?
got to
That you can see like that. You look like a normal middle-aged woman in that photo. That's what happens, right? You start getting body fat, your physical activity goes down, you make less healthier choices with your meals. This happens to so many people, the majority of people in life. And so when they just look at the after photo, it looks like, oh, yeah, sure, that's easy for you, that's your whole life. No, this is a recent change that you made. And you're the typical woman in the before photo, which is huge because that shows so many other people that it's possible. It's really possible as long as you put in the work. You're doing, you're training smartly, you're eating smartly, you're increasing your physical activity. It's truly, truly possible. And that, I want to stand on the highest hill and scream that to everyone, because so many people, like I said, they see the after photo and think that, oh, you've got the genetics or you've always looked like this. But no, this is possible for anyone to do. It's just putting in the work and finding that drive within you, whether you use a support system, whether you do it for, somebody else to prove them. You just have to do it. And so, I just want to hear from you again. I know you guys had a talk about changing your lifestyle, but I just want to hear a little more from you on how you decided, enough is enough. It's time to make a change.
Yeah. So I think, the big thing, it was right around the holiday. And when you find you don't want to be in the photos, right? We had our in-laws are down and my mom was in photos and you're embarrassed to be in there. You look in the mirror, you look in clothes and you're trying to be, it doesn't fit or it doesn't look very good. I think just really hard to just come to that. And I think there came a moment where on that direction and you don't recognize yourself of who you want to be and who you could, or you can face the facts and take a look at your lifestyle and change. And some of those were barriers that I couldn't remove. I could not, a very busy family life with children. I still have to go to work. I still have to work full time. The things that I could change, such as getting up earlier. So I started my weekends still started at 5 a.m. so that I could get a workout in before the kids and same thing at work. There were times where I'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get on a drive to go to work. And so really just looking at barrier, not going to make excuses anymore. We're just going to figure out what we need to do to conquer that is healthy and sustainable. I think that's the other part to it. And so we made those tweaks as much as we could. And since that challenge, and we still have those same habits and we still are routine. And it's really become part of our lifestyle, and John, our kids and our family, and that in there.
Nice. Yeah. That's I want to sort of focus on that point that you said. You couldn't remove those barriers, right? You couldn't quit your work. You couldn't stop taking care of your children, but you figured out alternatives. You figured out how to make it work. And, that is a message that I want everybody to hear loud and clear. If you take this seriously and look at it like it's your job, right? You wouldn't, if your car stopped working, you wouldn't just say, oh, well, my car doesn't, you'd figure out how to get it fixed. So that it's run, right. We make a lot of changes in our daily lives for other reasons, like, oh, I enjoy watching movies, but I can't go to the movie theater, so we'll rent it, or you find ways to get around obstacles for everything else. But for some reason, when it comes to our own health, we don't accept we don't accept the challenge, and we'd rather just say, oh well, there's nothing I can do, I've got a full-time job, I'm too busy, I can't fix this. But we would not do that in any other aspect of our life. We wouldn't do that at work. We'd be like, oh well. You know what I mean? Like, you solve problems all day at work, right? As a nursing director. So it's really just taking what, it's not new. It's not new to anyone, because like I said, we all do this in our other aspects of life. But when it comes to our own health and our own fitness, because it's so hard, we would rather take the excuse and just go, there's no way I can fix this. And look what you did. You took it as your job, and you said, nope, we're going to get around this. We're going to figure out how to do this. If I have to get up earlier, if I have to stay up later, if I have to change what we do on the weekends, and you make it work. And that's really the message that everyone needs to hear, is that you're the one holding yourself back. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're the one who is not accepting that you can fix this and that you can change yourself. Because look what you did when you finally took it as your full-time job, right? And like you said, you've done challenges before where life got in the way, right? You tried to do the challenge before, but this time was different because you made it your job.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I want to
Where there's a
ask
will.
you, yeah, right. Where there's a will, there's a way. And again, you're no one special. I mean, right, don't take this the wrong way. Anyone can do this. It's just about putting in, like you said, you failed before at doing this. You life got in the way, you gave up, but this time you weren't letting it happen, and look at the difference. Now you would never go back. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Isn't it crazy to look at yourself now and the way you feel now, in the way you did then? That, like, now that you're here, that's the thing. It's like, I try to get everybody to understand this. Once you're here, there's no going back. You know what I mean? Like, it's far easier once you're here to not go back than it is when you're there and trying to get to this point. But again, I just want to summarize it. It's possible for everyone. It's just about putting in the work. Now, one of the things I want to ask you as a woman is, when you found my programs, why did you decide to go with follow some guy versus, there's a ton of fitness females, fitness women out there online doing, programs and whatnot. But as a woman, you decided to follow a male, and you got amazing results following a male despite being a female. So I'd love to hear your take on why you decided to sort of follow my philosophies and my programs.
Yeah. So I admit, the thing that I like the most was the app, and the ability tells me what to do every day, and I just go through it and I do it. And then I've got the overview that has tad bits of information and a lot of little articles that were on it. So for me, about the male or female, it was really just the support and ease of that was in there. I did like that it was, and I don't, because I'm sure there are many female programs that are good, but it wasn't just your light workout. Right. I really needed results. I wanted the body, the program, as you look through it, it's not easy. And it was, going to give me the body, not just a little bit of fluffy weight. I wanted to have a dramatic change. And so I think it was the totality that and those features that did it. I think too, on the face, as you look through all of the Army members, there's a girls one. We got just so many inspirations that are on there. I think just this week and had gotten some negative comments or some negative feedback from some haters that were out there. And gosh, like, I want to be you. And so I think some of those, just those types of people in the community, I think really just solidified for the right group and really doable and easy.
Well, nice. And thank you. And thank you so much. But yeah, so, the thing I always say is, people always ask about, well, what programs in nutrition advice do you have for women? And I'm like, it's the same, like you train and you eat for your goals, not for your sex, not for your age, not for your race. It's, we're the human body, obviously the male and the female body are quite different, but physiologically speaking, and luckily I've done research, particularly for the Department of Defense in females. And so I'm aware of the huge differences, obviously, in female anatomy and physiology. But when we come down to metabolism, and metabolic processes, it's very similar. And so you need to train, you need to eat for your goals, and you look at your results, right? A lot of people think, oh, a woman needs a more leg focused, glutes focused program, and look at your legs. Right? Like, obviously the programs that you're doing were very leg heavy involved, but you weren't training any differently than your husband was training. You know what I mean? Like, it's very similar. And look at the results you got, particularly in the lower body, which so many females tend to focus on, think that they need a female specific program. But one of the most amazing parts of your transformation is the lower body. Like, literally, it's the body fat you lost on the hips and the thighs and the muscle you put on, like the shape. Look at the quads now that you have. Those things pop out. your lateralis, the way it pops out is it's absolutely amazing. And the biceps as well, even the upper body. But like I said, a lot of women think that they need a women, focused program to get the results that they want where they want them. And it's like, no, you're getting results over your entire body as long as you're training the right way, with the right techniques and the right science behind it. So again, good job on going with the science and like you said, the ease of the information. That, one of the things that I try to really do for you guys is make it easy, because I can't be there, holding your hand through every rep and every set. So I try to make the app in the website as easily to understand as possible, so that anyone could go through and follow it, as you said. And that was a huge help for the program. But again, a great job training and eating for your goals, as I say, not for your gender.
It makes it easy.
All right.
Too, when you're meal prepping and we're all eating things, just different portion sizes, and even my kids can eat it.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So some people, and again, this is about finding what works for you, right? I talk about, like, I have a lot of different nutrition strategies, whether you're using intermittent fasting, whether you're using carb cycling, whether you're using both, right? It's finding what works for you. And so when we talk about, like, food prep, right? I don't do any food prep myself. I'm a guy who I like everything to be freshly made, right? But again, I've got a lot of knowledge in where, I don't need to look things up and check, it's all in my head. So it's very easy for me to either walk into a restaurant or cook a meal that's going to fit all my macros perfectly. But that's not easy for most people. And so the thing that I say is finding what works for you. And for a lot of people, it's meal prep, right? So it's making those, whether it's on a Sunday and you make all those meals, and then that you already have everything divided out, your macros are set, and it makes it so much harder to fail on your diet. So can you talk about the meal prep
Yeah.
and how that?
So I've about 10 meals, if you will, that we could just kind of eat over and over in different things. We're looking at macro counting and, who could eat what. But like a whole bunch of chicken on the grill, to have some chicken. We do, that was in there, eggs and things like that in the morning. So there was usually always food in the fridge that work, or you could just grab what you wanted for the day. Making it twice a week, we made good. And then the snacks, I think that was the other part. Finding, I'll use the protein powder and I'll make ice cream out of it. And so every night when everybody had ice cream, that we would spin down from our protein powder, and you didn't want to. Some of the protein we turn into cakes, so I really like turning it. And so it's really a scoop of protein or two if you had the whole cake, and so it was a great way to feel like you got a treat, but yet you just basically had your protein. So it was really just finding those recipes and those ways to always have food around that matched your macros. And there were times where we would go to the restaurant. Sometimes that's the most challenging part. And so again, it was finding, we would have steak if that was, kind of where we were on your macros for the day, if it had been a low day. But other than that, there's always chicken on a menu, and you can usually ask them differences in the way they cook it and prepare it. But we'd have a 1-2 restaurants that we like to frequent just because we knew macro wise it would fit, and food tasted good eating out.
Yeah, and so I'm interested in some of those recipes, like the cake and the ice cream. Have you shared those with the Army?
So actually, from one of the posts on the Army that was in there. Yeah, so using the protein powder and the mixture with some eggs and almond milk in there, and then the ice, my shake, my gym shake, and then spin it down in the cream eater. So you freeze it overnight, and then you just spin it down, and it's like a whole. It's basically just a protein shake. It tastes really good.
A frozen treat. And again, that's important as well, is finding ways to make the macros enjoyable, and those little tricks, making protein ice cream. Some people love protein pancakes. Whatever it is that helps you to meet those macros, then do it. And what may work for one person may not work for another. Like, some people don't like the pancakes. Some people just prefer to drink their protein shake. Like I said, I don't prefer to meal prep, but I don't have to, because of the I'm a walking encyclopedia, if you will. So I can figure it out in real time. I don't need to reference anything. Whereas, like I said, other people, it's not so easy, obviously, because that's not their, they're a lawyer. So they spend, all day on legal matters. That's what they're an expert on. They're not an expert on the human body. That just happens to be what I'm an expert on. So luckily for me, it makes it easier. But for someone who's a lawyer, not so easy. So food prep, might be the best solution for you. But it's finding, again, it gets back to what you said about finding solutions, and taking it serious and not making excuses. It's like, oh, well, it's too hard to figure out what I need to eat. It's too hard to hit my macros. No, you make it happen and you do what works for you. Again, I can't tell you what that is precisely. I can just give you some examples that you can try, and then you can see which works for you. Like I said, some people love the meal prep once a week. You do it twice a week, I believe you said, right? Yeah, that way the food is a little fresher. But some people will meal prep on Sunday and eat everything that they cooked on Sunday through the entire week. And again, it's about what works for you. And even on the supplements, like you said, some people just prefer to mix their protein shake in water. Some people prefer to mix it in cow milk. Some people prefer almond milk. Some people make an ice cream out of it. Some people make cake. Some people make pancakes, right? Whatever it is that helps you, those little tricks is what you're going to do. And the nice thing about the Gym Army Facebook group page, like you said, is there's people like you sharing what worked for them. And again, maybe that's not for you, but you'll find someone who is just like you and has the same issues, same obstacles as you on the Gym Army Facebook page. And having that, those commonalities, those similarities is huge when you're going through a big change like this and you're confused and you're not sure, right? Having someone else who's very similar to you, maybe it's age, maybe they have a similar job, right? But or they have certain dietary restrictions, or they just don't like, or they need to do this or that. You're going to find that person on the Gym Army Facebook page, and that is going to make a huge difference in the way you're able to go through not just the challenge, but any of these programs. And just this fitness is 365 days a year. It's 24/7, 365. So having a support group like that, again, some of us don't have the significant other who's going to do it with us, or a family member or coworkers, but the Gym Army is there, all doing it together in a positive way. So yeah, nice work all around, Misty. I literally can't say it enough. I'm so proud of you. That transformation, just absolutely astonishing. So now, like I said, you're doing this. You're currently doing the Summer Stretch Challenge with the XS8.
So second week, I think we were day 5 today. So yes, so my husband's back on it. My son-in-law, my future son-in-law, and then a bunch of other coworkers are all on it. So
yeah, and we're all doing it. We're all doing it out here in LA. So the gym team, we're all through it with you. So oh, nice. Well, all right. Well, I know you are very busy with your life, so I want to thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with me. I know it's challenging with a busy life, and trying to keep all your fitness goals up. So we've already been sitting probably too long, and we need to go do our 30-60 after this. So anything else you want to add, Misty, before we head out?
Thank you very much, and thanks to you for putting the program together and putting challenges like these are what gives us the tools, the knowledge, the motivation to it has been definitely inspirational and transformational in my life and my kids. So Very, very much appreciative. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you. Because like you said, I may inspire you, right. And provide this information and motivate you. But on the flip side, you and everyone in the Gym Army inspire me every single day and motivate me to stay in my best shape, right? Lead by example always. But also to keep putting that information out there, seeing you guys use it and seeing it help so many people and change their lives. I'll never stop. I'll never get bored. So I'll be doing this as long as you guys are willing to do the workouts with me. So thank you. And again, congratulations
Thank you.
on the transformation and the win. And I can't wait to see everybody's before and afters for the Summer Shred Challenge out there. So tell everyone I send my best and I say good luck to them all.
Do. Thank you.
All right, Misty. All right, guys. Jim Stefani here. I'm in my Hollywood gym. Misty is coming in from Houston. So we will be checking out now. So thank you for tuning in. And remember, Summer Shred Challenge, you can still register until the 25th, I believe. So you have till the 20, what's today? What's today's date? 21st, 22nd, 22nd. So you've got a couple days, guys. If you want results like Misty, like Jamal had, there's only one way to do it. It's to sign up and put in the work, figure out how to get through those obstacles, make those changes. Go to the Gym Army Facebook group page. You will find like-minded individuals who will keep you positive and motivated and inspire you. And this will literally change your entire life. All right, Misty. Again,
Right.
I'm so happy to finally speak with you one-on-one. And again, good luck with all future endeavors and never stop. Keep inspiring.
Thank you much.
Thanks, Misty.
All right.
Talk soon.
All right.